is true, period. You see that?
Is true, period.
And then there's a
Yeah,
line break, and then there's a line break that says if one is true. You see how there's a line break there and there's a period after the is true? You see that?
God does not believe that one is true. One line break if one is true, comma. God does not believe it. That's not even formulated like properly. What the hell does that even mean, bro?
Yeah, so it's a
Like you atheists
self-referential
just come in
statement
here
for the
saying random
third
things.
time.
You
It's a
didn't even
self. Yeah,
read this
so
before you sent it, dude.
yeah,
This is
I
just a bunch of
actually.
yapping.
Yeah,
It's
you're
just a bunch
retarded.
of yapping
I
ridiculous
literally read
intent,
it
bro.
out after I sent it
Yeah,
to
I can
everyone
read
here.
out anything. I can read out anything. Atheists are
Yeah, you
stupid.
just
That's
said
not a
I
point,
didn't
bro.
read it, which is
Yeah,
contradicted
that's
by the
not a
fact
point.
that I
That's
literally
not a
just
point,
read it.
bro. That's not a point. That's not a point. Yeah, you read it. That doesn't mean it's true.
Okay, so then you're wrong on your first statement there.
No, just because you read something out doesn't mean what you read was true. You know that, right?
Well, no one
Like the
cares
atheists
if
just
what I
take
read
vague
is. That's the
paragraphs and act like
argument.
it's
That's
true.
what we're going to be debating, if
Yeah,
whether or not the
how
paradox
is that
is
an
indeed a
argument though?
paradox.
Is true if. How is that an argument? Is true if. How is that an argument?
Okay,
Is
so I'll
true
just
if
ask
is
you.
an
I'll ask
argument.
you this real quick. Can you summarize what's being stated in what I sent and what I read?
No, because I don't understand a damn thing, bro. I
Yeah,
really
so I'll
don't.
read
That's
it
what I'm
out to you
trying to
one
get.
more
That's what I'm
time.
trying to get. You're reading it out and then
You have
you
one
just
more
making
time to
rhetoric. That's
fail
just
to
rhetoric.
understand this.
No, that's just rhetoric. That's just
Or you
rhetoric. I can say
automatically
whatever the hell I want, and if you
get us
don't
auto
understand
law,
it,
right?
apparently you're stupid and you don't know
So
anything.
okay,
No,
so
you just
listen. Yo, do you want
no,
to be taught by the
no, you're gonna
master, or do you want to
restate
become
it.
a
You're
student
gonna
for life?
restate it and then say, "Oh, you don't
Yeah, the
understand what it
master's gonna
means," even though
teach
it
you. The
means
master's
nothing.
gonna teach you.
It's just random rhetoric. It's rhetoric, bro.
Yeah,
You're not gonna teach me
this
anything
isn't
because it
rhetoric.
makes
So
no
anyway, you're gonna
sense.
be taught. You're gonna
Like
be
this
taught
isn't
by the
even
master.
logic. This isn't even philosophy. This is just
I'm the
like
sensei here, and you're the student. So listen, right?
this isn't logic or philosophy. This is just yapping. This isn't even formulated
Yeah.
properly in
So
English language.
this actually is
Like what
philosophy,
the
my
hell even
son.
is this?
This is
Is
real
true
philosophy.
if is true if is philosophy. Amazing. Is
Okay,
true
so
if
yeah,
just for
I'll
student.
explain it to you real quick for the second time and the last time, right? So
Is true if.
one is a self-referential statement, right? God does not believe
Okay.
that one is
Okay.
true, right?
Okay.
Now from there we can say if one is true, God does not believe it, and thus God cannot be said to know all truths, right? If one is false, it is false that
What the
God
hell
does
are you
not believe it.
saying, bro?
It must
Restating it does
be
not make it
like,
true. What are you
I'm,
saying?
I'm
This is just
reiterating
yapping.
exactly what's being stated.
This
I'm
is just
reading exactly
yapping,
what's
bro.
being stated.
This makes no sense.
Just
Is
because this
true
is
if.
far above your pay grade of
Is true
like
if.
random
Is true
conspiracy
if.
theories doesn't mean
Is
anything.
true if. Is
So
true
anyway,
if is amazing, man. Is
yeah,
true
so
if.
anyway, I'll repeat this one last time. All right.
Amazing. Yeah, that's cool, dude. That's cool.
So there's a
That's awesome.
self-referential
Yep.
statement,
I
right?
understand.
If one
Yep.
is
That's
true, God
cool.
does not
That's
believe it,
awesome.
and thus
That's
God cannot
awesome.
be said to know all truths.
That's
If one is
awesome.
false, it is false that God does not
Mm-hmm.
believe it. It
Yep.
must then be
Yep.
true that God
Nice.
believes it. God there
Yeah,
believes
that's
in a
just yapping.
falsehood,
Just
in which
yapping.
case, either
Just
way you
yapping.
go,
That's just
right,
yapping.
God's not going to be
Mm.
omniscient.
Yep. Yep. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. That's false. That's 100% false.
Yeah, that's not an
You just
argument
yapped
against
a
it.
bunch. You just yapped a bunch. You didn't make an argument to begin with. Is true if is not an
Yeah, the
argument.
argument is that
Is
omniscience
true
is
if.
paradoxical. That's the argument.
Is true if. Is true if is an argument later. This dude basically refuted all theism with is true if. So
Yeah,
isn't that
sadly,
amazing?
just because you don't understand it doesn't change the fact that there's an argument on the table
And the
that you're
fact
running
that you
from.
don't even understand it, that you don't even understand it. You're just stating it over again without actually giving
Well,
what
you
it
haven't
means.
asked any
Is true if
question,
is not an
right?
argument.
All you've done is say
I
is
have. I've
true
been
if a few
asking you
times.
questions, and you're like, "Oh, you're stupid. You're my son. I'm gonna
Now,
restate it." And if
what's
you
the
don't get
question?
it,
What do you need
it's just
clarification
rhetoric,
on?
dude. What does is true if mean?
Okay, so the is true if there, explained this to you earlier. So when you say that things are not being explained to you, you're lying. Okay, so as you can see, one, God does not believe that one is true, period. Right? So it's not is true if, as if that's some like continuous sentence,
God does
right? That's
not
not what's being
believe
going.
that
That's not
one
what's going
is
on there.
true. God does not believe that one is true. What? He doesn't believe that number one is true. What? What the hell
It's a
even is this, dude?
self-referential. I'll just ask you this to
God
see
does
how.
not believe that
I'll
one
ask you
is
this.
true.
I'll ask you this to
No,
see
you're
how
not
far
asking
back
me
you have to
anything.
go.
No, I asked you a question. I asked you a question,
Yeah, I
and you
explained
said
to
you
you
were going to
3 or 4
answer it.
times
Stop
now.
trying to
Again,
make two
it's
quick
a
ways.
self-referential
What
statement.
does God does not believe that one mean? What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a self-referential statement. It refers to the one.
Define that.
You don't know what self-referential statements are?
No, define it. You're using words you don't
Yeah,
even
so
mean.
self-refer. Yeah, I'll define it to you. You're just retarded, right? So
Okay,
self-referential
I don't, man.
statements are
Amazing.
statements in which case they refer to themselves. An example of this is going to be the liar's paradox, such as this statement is false, right? You can have other self-referential statements that don't run into paradoxes to intuition pump that you can't just get rid of self-referential statements.
And God does not believe that one is true if is refuting theism.
No, because you can be a theist and not
Oh,
believe in omniscience, or you can be a theist and believe that God doesn't have propositional knowledge. So again, you're just retarded.
okay. So what does one God does not believe that one is true if? How is that refuting anything? I'm wondering.
Yes, it's demonstrating that either way you go with this proposition, God is not going to be omniscient in the sense of propositional knowledge.
Is true if refutes omniscience. Is true if.
I don't think you're understanding.
No, I want to know. I'm trying to understand. Is true if refutes
Yeah,
omniscience?
again, for like I don't know if this is the Jay Diorite
I'm
script to
asking a question. It's a
just
yes
get
or no.
confused
It's
on
a
one
yes or
thing
no.
and then have it clarified to you over
It's a
and over
yes or
again.
no. It's a yes or no. Is true
Yeah,
if
you're
refutes
misrepresenting it.
omniscience?
You're misrepresenting the
Yes or
sentence
no.
there. You're
Is true
misrepresenting the
if.
statement.
No, does is true if. If I'm misrepresenting it, then just tell me yes
No,
or
no,
no.
no. That
Is
that
true if
singular thing
refutes
right
omniscience?
there is true if doesn't refute theism. The
Okay, so
entire
then why
thing
the
I
hell are you
just said,
bringing it up?
yeah, 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 because it's a paradox,
Okay, so
moron, right?
one
It's a
God does
paradox
not
against
believe that one
omniscience.
is true if refutes omniscience. That's what
Okay, wait,
refutes
wait. Yeah,
omniscience.
yeah, yeah. This is an argument against omniscience. If you have no
Okay,
argument against
wait,
what I've
wait. So
given,
one
besides
God
endless
does not believe that
clarification,
one
you
is
don't even
true.
understand what the liar's paradox is. That's the
Wait,
problem.
let me ask you a question. One God does not believe that one is true if is refuting omniscience.
Wait, continue reading, because that's not the thing that refutes omniscience
Yeah,
entirely.
I'm just asking if it does though. I'm just asking if it that does.
Yeah, the singular thing right there that I sent is an argument against omniscience because it shows that it's paradoxical. Yes.
Okay, so God does not believe that one is true if is refuting omniscience.
Continue. You have to continue reading more on.
But I'm asking if that refutes omniscience.
Okay, so
No,
are
retard.
you actually just retarded or what's going on here?
No, I'm asking. I'm just asking you a question. There's no need to insult me, man.
Yeah, because you're not understanding, right? And this has been clarified
Yeah,
to
so
you.
you're
There
calling
is
This has
someone a
been
no.
clarified to
retard
you
for
five
not
times.
understanding?
This has
You're
been
calling
clarified
someone a
to you
retard if
five
they don't
times.
understand.
So we have to
Amazing.
clarify it
So
is me.
one God does not believe that one is true if that's refuting
Wait,
omniscience.
I'll just ask you this. Why do you say the if
No, is this
after?
just liar's paradox? Is this a liar paradox?
Yeah,
Oh
basically,
my
basically.
gosh, Jay Dyer, are you retarded?
No, I'm no, I'm just
Even
asking
this
him.
kid knows what the liar's paradox is and how you
He
One
get it.
he
God
is
does not believe that
retarded, by
one
the
is
way.
true if is refuting omniscience. I'm just
So
asking him a
why? Wait,
This
question.
guy is
Jada,
actually one
answer
of the
this.
biggest retards I've ever seen in my
Just
life.
answer this. Why do you add
We're
the
Yeah,
not
that's
if
overrating
amazing.
that
after
guy.
that first sentence there? Why are you adding that
No,
into your
I'm just adding. I'm
clarification?
just adding. I'm
No,
just
I'm
asking,
asking you
is
why are you
that
adding that?
refuting omniscience?
That's a new
Is that
sentence.
refuting omniscience?
That's a
Is that
new
refuting
sentence. When
omniscience?
you say is true period if then continue. Why
No,
do you
I
just
don't. No. Is that refuting omniscience? One God does not believe that one is true. If is that refuting
why do you
omniscience?
add the if there?
Dude, why are you nitpicking my words? Just ask
Yeah,
me. Just
because
tell me if it
you're
refutes
not
omniscience.
understanding what's being stated. There's a period.
Just tell me if it
Why do you
refutes
not understand?
omniscience. Just tell me if it refutes omniscience.
Yeah, this is an argument against omniscience. Everything I sent in that
Okay,
thing that
okay,
I
okay.
sent
So
is literally
one
refuting
God does
omniscience.
not believe that one is true. If is refuting
Yo,
omniscience.
why do you keep adding the if there? There's a period. If you're going to say
Okay,
the if,
one
continue the
God does
statement.
not believe that is true. One God does not believe that is true is refuting omniscience.
You didn't even accurately say it this time.
One God does not believe that one is true is refuting omniscience.
Yeah, and then you continue reading everything.
No, I'm just asking if that refutes omniscience.
Yes, the self-referential statement about
Bro.
God's
Wait, are you
knowledge,
being serious?
and you
Are you
hold
being
no
serious?
falsum.
Are you
Yes,
being
this is an
serious? Are
argument.
you being serious? One God does not believe that one is true is
By the way,
refuting
if you just
omniscience.
keep repeating, does this refute omniscience? You're not going to get anywhere because I've already
No,
stated
I'm just asking. I
everything
want to
in
hear
that
from
is
the
showing
horse's mouth.
omniscience
I
to
want
be
to hear it from the
paradoxical
horse's
as I've
mouth.
described.
I want to hear it from the horse's mouth, though. That's what I want to hear. Okay, that's what I want to hear from the horse's mouth.
Yeah,
So
everything I sent
you're
right
telling me
there
the first
destroys
sentence is
omniscience.
refuting omniscience. The first sentence is refuting omniscience.
Then continue reading.
But I'm just asking if the first sentence does.
Could the first sentence alone refute omniscience?
Yeah.
He can't read, by the way. He's told me that he's never read a single philosophy book, just YouTube videos.
No, that is reading. You know that,
The
right?
Who
YouTube
said that
videos
If I
are
just hear
Jay
verbatim?
an
Dyer, by
audiobook,
the way.
and no, an audiobook is still reading it. I'm just hearing someone else read it to me. Like, come on, bro. You read these new age philosophers that are gay and liberal.
By the way,
You
he's
don't even
lying.
have
It's
grounds
not
to
an
stand on.
audiobook.
Yeah,
He
I
said
I'm
doubt
not
it.
random
lying. I'm
YouTube
not
Yeah,
lying.
video
I
on
literally
philosophy.
sent the Plato resources at the bottom
wait,
of the channel. So I read Plato.
just to see something real quick because I'm curious. What
But
philosophers have you read?
I've read Plato. I've read the Republic.
The Republic. Yeah, what was your favorite part about the Republic?
My favorite part was probably in book 1 when they were talking about the definition of justice. It's probably my favorite part. I didn't like when they started talking about gods and freaking flutes and stuff. I didn't like that bit.
Yeah. Okay. So
Allegory of the
anyway,
cave was good too. All right, I'm just asking if one God does not believe that
Who
one
else?
is true.
Wait, who
I'm
else have
asking
you
if
read?
that refutes omniscience. Dude,
you read your own
can you answer
philosophers?
my
Have you read
question even to
Orthodox
me?
guys?
Even to me, can you answer the question, dude? Instead of
Yeah. The
trying
question
to
has been
speak to
answered
me.
like 8 times at this point.
Okay, no,
Yes.
I'm just asking.
If you
I
are,
need to hear
if
it.
you understand, yeah, this is going to be conditioned on the understanding, right? If you understand how self-referential paradoxes work, such as the liar's paradox, then one alone, that sentence there should be enough to draw out the conclusion. But the paragraph
So,
below that is
no way
indeed
you
a
said that,
clarification
bro.
for people like you.
Oh, there's no way. Oh, one God does not believe that one is true is refuting omniscience. That's got to be the most
Yeah,
retarded thing
that's
I've
the,
ever
and
heard
then
in
the
my life.
explanation.
Pretty
I'll just ask you
rhyming.
this
What
real
the
quick to
hell?
clarify your knowledge on like just paradox in this type of
One God,
sense. Anyway,
no.
Jay
One
Dyer, do you know
God
what
does
the
not
liars?
believe
Do you
that
know what the
one is
liars
true.
paradox is?
I've heard of it. I couldn't define it off the top of my head though.
Okay, so I'll just ask you this: this sentence is false. What happens there? What do you think we can draw from that?
What? One God does not believe that one is
No, no,
true
no.
is
Just
false.
when I say this sentence is false, period. What can you draw from that?
You can draw that. That's a lying statement. It's false.
Yeah, but if it's false, it's true because it's claiming to be false.
Okay, so if it's false, no. So you're telling me the statement says this is a lie?
No, no, it's not. It's this statement is false. Wait, do you think the liar's paradox was dealing with someone who says that they're lying?
No. I was just asking what you meant.
Yeah, yeah.
I got
So I'll just
confused.
type it in the side chat to help you understand, because I really want to see if you even can understand these type of things. Maybe it's just out of your comprehension, which is fine.
Wait,
Not
what
everyone
does
would
he
be able to
think it
understand.
is?
He was asking whether or not this sentence is false, like if I'm just lying.
No, I was asking
Okay,
what he meant by it.
What do you think the liar's paradox is?
The liar's
he said he
paradox
couldn't
is
define it.
no, the liar's paradox is pretty much if a sentence says this sentence is false and it is false, it would be true, and it's a paradox because of that.
This
Okay, do
guy's
you think the
fucking stupid.
paradox goes through? Like
Like,
this
what do
is
you
a
mean?
genuine paradox?
Goes through?
Yeah, in the sense that it's an actual paradox.
Um, yeah.
Okay, then we can apply this same type of logic to omniscience. Because according to omniscience, as we're understanding it, God believes no falsehoods and God knows all truths. So it's the same line of reasoning using the liar's paradox towards omniscience, and it's known as the divine liar. That's what Graham calls it.
So you're saying that if God knows all truth, then he knows all false statements?
No, if he knows all true statements and he believes no false statements.
He knows all true statements and he believes no false statements.
No, no, no. He
Okay.
knows all truths and he believes no falsehoods.
He knows all truth and he believes no falsehoods. What do you mean by falsehood? What would you define that as?
Any proposition that is false, God did not believe in it.
And could you give me an example of something that he would not believe in?
Yeah, God would not believe that 2 + 2 = 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so once we have those preconditions for omniscience in place, we just do the same type of liar's paradox to God.
How could you do that to God? How could you make a liar paradox to God? I don't understand.
That's what the one is demonstrating. God does not believe that one is true. If one is true, God does not believe it, right? Because that's what it's stating. It's saying God doesn't believe it. But then God wouldn't believe all true things.
It's saying God does not believe that one, like the number one is true. He
No,
doesn't
it's
believe that.
self-referential. It's self-referential, similar in a sense that this sentence is false, is referring to the sentence itself.
God does not believe that. That's what it's referring to. God does not believe that.
It's referring to everything, right? It's referring to one, God does not believe that one is true. It's a self-referential statement similar to how this sentence is false refers to this sentence is false.
And wait, so God does not believe. What sentence is that in the thing that you sent?
The self-referential one, the one. Okay, there's a line break between the statement that's in question and then the explanation below it.
God does not believe that. So that's what I'm asking the whole time. Does that refute omniscience? God does not believe that.
Yeah, so in the similar vein, how you said that the liar's paradox goes through in the sense that, yeah, this is a genuine paradox, it's the same type of thing going on with omniscience. That omniscience is a genuine paradox. That unless you take there to be true contradictions, there is just no being that is omniscient, given these preconditions. Now, you could try to deny God's propositional awareness. Like you could just say that God doesn't have propositional knowledge, um, or something like that. But then you just wouldn't be understanding omniscience in the same way that we've already defined.
So I don't
You would also
understand how
be a
this
heretic.
debunks omniscience, though. I don't understand that.
You don't understand what?
How is a true
How does
contradiction
this
not a
debunk
what?
omniscience?
How does a true contradiction debunk omniscience?
No, how does God does not
Is this
believe
guy
that
retarded?
debunk omniscience? Because you said it did. God does
Yeah, the
not
point
believe
is
that
there's a
self-referential
contradiction
statement.
on each horn, right? If it's true, there's a contradiction, and if it's false, there's a contradiction in omniscience.
God does not believe that. Are you saying that's either a true or false
God does
statement?
not believe that one is true,
One
self-referential.
is true.
If one is true, like this sentence, if it's true, then God does not believe it. But then God wouldn't believe all the truths.
Is it talking
But
about the
if one is
number one?
false,
Watch him
it is
react to
false
what
that God
he
does
sees
not believe
again.
it.
Is it talking about the number one?
No, it's not, dude. This
This
isn't.
guy's
This
so
isn't
smart.
talking. The one is to indicate self-referential. Like it's
One
just
is a
indicating that it's
symbol
referring to itself.
that is supposed to represent the sentence. Do you not understand when it refers to a sentence, the sentence you keep asking, which is it? The self-referential one.
Wait, so is true if, is that a self-referential statement that's
No, no, no.
debunking
You're adding
omniscience?
the. I don't know how you keep adding the if there. It's just that sentence, and then the if comes after. That's the entire point.
So is true if.
No, it's just is true. Period. And then if one is true, God does not believe it. And then you continue. It's not is true if and then period.
It's like the one is dividing it, so it's kind of hard to read that, man.
Uh,
Wait,
maybe it's a
so
format issue on your phone. It looks clear to me.
I'm not on my phone. So a self-referential statement, God does not believe that one is true. What does it mean by one? What does that mean?
One is just a symbol to refer to the sentence. As you see how at the start before the sentence, it just has one. You see that?
Y-
Yeah, that's to indicate that the one is just referring to the statement.
So God does not believe that one is true. What does it mean when you say the one? Like, do we have to
The
say the
one
one,
is
or can we
referring to
just
the
say God
sent.
does not believe that?
Bro, how are you not? How are you not understand? I don't understand. This is
It's
what's
not making
confusing
any
me. I
sense.
don't understand how you understood the liar's paradox stuff, but you're not understanding this.
Because the
Because
Liar's paradox is simple, dude.
in a similar vein, now it says this sentence is false. This sentence is false refers to itself, right?
This sentence is false refers to itself. Yes.
Yeah, that's why the paradox comes in, right? So the one there is just indicating self-reference. So God does not believe that one is true, is just referring to the one, right? It's just referring to the same sentence,
God does not believe that. How is that? What is God does not believe that is true? How
referring
is
to
that
itself,
like?
bro.
So God does not believe. How can that refer to itself
I
though?
think he's just too impoverished to get a grasp of it. I think we should just like
I can't even
abandon
hear
the
you, Kendrick.
conversation.
I can't
He's
even
too
hear you. I
sped.
can't even hear you, bro. Yeah, keep
It
calling
might
me
have to
sped,
be, it
buddy.
might be a fruitless project. I mean, the problem is like, I thought the only way you couldn't understand the divine liar thing is if you didn't understand the liar's paradox thing. But if you can understand the liar's paradox thing, then it makes no sense how you can't understand this.
That's why I'm picking at it, because I'm trying to understand how can God does not believe that is true be self-referential.
Yeah, it's self-referential. I mean, like you said, I think
How?
we're just because the one is just indexed to the sentence that it's referring to it in itself,
But
right? It's
the
just
one
the
the
same
one
thing.
doesn't make the one doesn't automatically make God does not believe that is true. That doesn't make it self-referential. You know that, right?
Yes, it does, because the one is referring
It's
to
the
the sentence
sentence that
itself.
does it.
The
Like
one
when
there,
you sent
the one there.
yeah,
So God does not believe that one is true. The one there refers to itself. The one
Does
there
he
is
know
just
it's
referring to
self-referential?
the sentence. Like, I mean, I've explained this to you like a few times, and it seems like you don't. I don't even know how this is possible, to be
it's
honest.
pretty
This doesn't even
obvious I
seem.
don't get it. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Look, if I put a 1 in the liar's paradox, that doesn't the 1 doesn't make the sentence like you
Now,
said,
I'll
it doesn't
formulate it
make
so
it
you understand.
self-referential. It's the
I'll formulate it
sentence
so
You
you
know,
itself
understand.
that makes it self-referential. It's the sentence itself that makes it
See,
self-referential.
see that right there?
This sentence 1 is false. Yeah, I
Yes.
see that.
See how that the one there just is referring to the sentence itself, right?
The 1 is referring to the sentence.
Yes, yes. This sentence is
How is the 1
false
referring to the sentence?
because one is being classed as the sentence.
1 is the sentence.
Yeah, that's why
How
it's
is
before
1
this.
the sentence?
Okay, so let me try this out. Let me try this. Let me try this. Maybe it's the parentheses that are confused.
Yo,
Also, can you
Gadfly,
unsub or
Mark,
mute Astley?
is this guy still retarded, or did he gain some chromosomes or so?
he actually decreased.
Gain some chromosomes. Dude, if I decrease chromosomes, I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys right now.
Or J
You're
Dyer. So
not
listen.
even talking. You're just making noise.
Okay,
Okay.
listen. Right? You see how one period, this sentence one is false. The one there designates the sentence, right?
Designates, what do you mean? Like puts it there?
Yeah, it indicates that this is what we're referring to.
One, like one, and I mean, at the sentence. So the 1 right there is indicating it designates the sentence.
Yeah, it's to indicate the self-referential thing.
So, but how does that make the sentence referential? Just because you add a 1.
Because it's saying this sentence and then it refers to itself is false. That's what the one is doing. It's saying that it's referring to itself. In a similar sense, okay, so listen, right? One period, this sentence one is false, is literally just this sentence is false.
Did you see what I sent? How is 1 Jay Dyer's good? How is Jay Dyer's good? How is that referring to itself?
Yeah, the problem there is that that's not self-referential in the sense that you're
So the
adding
1,
in Jay Dyer. You're adding in Jay Dyer there is good. It's not like, okay, if you were to
so
say
when you
that
say the
this
1,
sentence,
when you
I'll explain how you could have a Jay Dyer's thing there and have it self-referential.
well, you said that the 1 makes the sentence self-referential. Self-referential. You said the 1 makes it. So how in this case is it not self-referential? Sounds like you're making stuff up.
No, this is it's literally just translating. Okay, bro. I'm gonna try this one more time. One period. This sentence is false. The one there just designates to make sure that you know we're referring to this sentence.
But okay, so the 1, let me get this straight. The 1 makes the sentence self-referential, right?
Yeah, that's what's being designated
Then
there.
how in this case does the 1 not make the sentence self-referential?
Because Jay Dyer is good. Okay, so you have to understand. This makes it self-referential. The parentheses around the one to designate that we're talking about the sentence being known as one.
So if I did this, then it's self-referential. If I did this,
One Jay Dyer is good. If you take the sentence one to be just Jay Dyer is good, and we say, okay, Jay Dyer is one or something like one good. I mean, I don't even know how to explain this to you, right? Because I think you're just confusing and thinking that like as long as we add one period parentheses one, it just becomes self-referential. If it is the
To
case
me, this
that Jay
doesn't make any
Dyer is
logical
good
sense.
is just one, then you can make this self-referential. You could make it self-referential. If
Oh,
Jay
yeah,
Dyer is good just refers to itself.
how is Jay Dyer is good? How is that self-referential?
Yeah, it can't. The point is, it can be self-referential if you take Jay Dyer is good to just refer to Jay Dyer is good the sentence. But presumably that's not what's going
Well,
on there. You're
Jay
referring to
Dyer
the
is
person
good.
Jay Dyer.
Well, if the sentence says Jay Dyer is good, how could it be referring to itself? It's not referring to itself. It's referring to Jay Dyer being good.
Yeah, the point is the reason why this isn't self-referential is because the way you're understanding Jay Dyer there is referring to a thing that isn't the sentence. So, for example, I'll try this way. This sentence has 5 words. This sentence has 5 words is referring to the sentence itself.
Yeah.
Yes. So in a similar vein, you can do the same thing with the liar's paradox, and then you can do the same thing with the divine liar paradox for omniscience. The Jay Dyer
Well,
is good thing could be formulated as a self-referential statement, but you'd have to make it so that Jay Dyer is good just refers to itself.
but here's the thing, though. We know this sentence is false. We know that's self-referential because it's saying this sentence. It's speaking of itself. It's referring to itself. You don't need the one. You said that the one makes the sentence
Yeah,
self-referential.
the one
That's
there
not
is
the
just to
case when Jay Dyer is
clarify
good.
exactly what's going on.
But you said the one makes it self-referential, but in this case, it doesn't make it. So I don't see how this is working.
Okay, so I don't know how this will work, but I'll see if this helps, right? God does not believe this sentence is true.
Mhm.
Okay? That's referring to itself.
Yep.
Okay? So if that sentence is true, then it's true that God does not believe it. But then it's a truth, meaning God should believe in it because God believes in all truths. Correct?
God does not believe
You
this
just have to say
sentence
it out
is
loud, and
true.
it sounds so obvious.
Yeah, I see what you mean with this one. God does not believe this sentence is true. But I would just say God is above human minds and he's above logic,
Okay,
so
bro.
we can't encapsulate him in this. I know atheists hate
Okay,
that
so
because they
if
can't
the
get around it.
paradox, if we get a paradox with omniscience and your response is, okay, well, God's just above our logic. I mean,
Yeah,
sure, you can do
that's
that. That's
perfect.
fine to
That's
do.
logical on my position.
What
That's
does that
logical.
mean?
That makes sense.
What is
But I mean,
It
it's
makes sense
unclear as
on
to
my
what that
position.
even. Yeah, it's unclear. Okay, so we have a paradox.
what does
We agree there's
above
a
logic
paradox
mean?
here, right?
God does not believe this sentence is true.
That's the same thing
And
with the lies paradox. It invokes a type
if
of
it's
paradox, right?
God does not believe this sentence is true. And if it's a lie, then it is true. And if it's true, God will believe in it. But the sentence says otherwise. So yeah, that would be a paradox. But
Yeah,
God
and
is
your
above
response
all
is,
logic.
well, God is just
He's
above
above
logic.
everything. Yeah, he's above anything. You can't encapsulate him in that. And I don't hold it ADS, so that wouldn't work on me. Maybe
Well, this isn't a thing with ADS, by the way.
if I held the
This has nothing to
ADS
do
and
with
I
ADS.
held the God's absolutely simple and we can understand him with our minds, then maybe that would work, but I don't.
Well, ADS proponents don't say that we can understand God with our mind.
Well,
Most ADS
I've talked
proponents
to
are
yeah, I know what you
analogical
mean.
predication people. But listen, right? Okay, so my argument is really simple. There's other ways to get around my argument. Well, it's not even mine, it's Grimm's argument. There's ways to get around this argument by saying God doesn't have propositional knowledge or just contesting that self-referential statements like even are propositional, right? This is a thing that you can do. But you're not doing that. What you're doing is just saying, well, God's just above our mind. So we have a
Yeah.
paradox. You're just saying God is above our mind. So how did you asked me, could I disprove a supreme being with the omni properties? If showing a logical
You can't.
paradox doesn't do this, then what would?
No, nothing can. That's what I'm saying. You atheists are just too cynical to understand that. You know what Socrates said?
Oh my God.
You know what
What
Socrates
did
said?
Socrates
I
what
mean,
did Socrates say?
we're on the topic of philosophy. Socrates says, "For I do not suppose that I know anything except just a little, and that is to know that I know nothing." But you atheists can't admit that.
Uh, so what was that supposed to
If
do?
if if yeah, I'm saying that you can't debunk you can't debunk the existence of God. You can't. You try to give an
Well, the point
argument,
is
and then
the
I just
reason why
said
we
God is
can't do
above that.
that is because according to you, even if we show God to be okay, so for example, right, let's just say I prove to you God is literally a logical contradiction. Like God existing is literally P and not P. If I show that to you, your response is just going to be, well, God's just
No,
above our
no.
logic.
My response would be if the frog had a glass butt, he would have broken it when he jumped. I don't go off of crazy what ifs to try and prove a point. I don't like what ifs. They're not in
Okay,
reality.
bro. You're not understanding.
Yeah, you can say that,
This isn't
man, but
merely,
I
this
don't
is
see where your
drawing out
argument
a
stands.
contradiction from omniscience.
But brother, if I held to ADS and I believe that you can know God's essence, then maybe you would have something here. But I don't believe it.
Right.
I think God, we don't even know God's essence. So then how can you encapsulate him in logic? You can't.
Okay, so if God's just above our logic, then I don't understand the point of even debating.
What
According
does
to you, we can't
encapsulating
I
encapsulate
in our
mean,
anything.
logic?
yeah, there is no point since you can't actually debunk the existence of God, and that's a fact.
Well, you can't debunk it
What?
according to you because even showing a logical contradiction does nothing.
Yeah, and that's amazing for me. It's horrible
Okay.
for you though,
Okay,
since you
bro.
know
Yo,
God exists
Mojon,
now.
I'm gonna go on mute and then probably head out. You can talk to.
Here comes Kendrick.
I just don't
Slater,
know
do you
what
remember
above
Kendrick?
logic means.
Mojon, do you know, or Slater, do you remember Kendrick?
What does above logic mean?